day, everybody. My name is Dr. Francois Tessier. I'm the CEO of the Center for Complementary Therapy and Pain Management in Sri Lanka. Good day, and welcome to this series of Zoom interview where you discover the most amazing doctors and therapists practicing complementary therapies worldwide. And today it's not an exception. We have an amazing guest. Today we are going to meet Dr. Lilly Rahmann, gemologist, Usui-Tibetan Reiki master, certified hypnosis teacher, certified spa therapist, quantum touch certified instructors, and on, etc., etc. Her journey is just incredible. Dr. Lilly was born in Bangkok, Thailand, and she was introduced to gemstone at a very early age because her father was the owner of a ruby mine, a gemstone cutting factory and jewellery store, a gemstone mining area in Thailand. So Dr. Lilly was born literally into a crystal environment, right? Dr. Lilly attended the Asian Institute of Gemological Science in Bangkok, where she graduated as a gemologist. And she taught and worked at the Institute of Gems Identification Laboratory for a couple of years, where she acquired the valuable experience and knowledge about the gems. Lilly discovered later after the healing power of crystal and gemstone during her creative process. Her interest in self-healing brought her to become an accomplished Usui-Tibetan Reiki master. And after that, she became a certified quantum touch instructor. Lilly has taught self-healing techniques to many people in Canada and in Thailand and everywhere in Asia also, where she worked with autistic children. She is a certified hypnosis instructor also, as she studied with the world-famous Banyan Hypnosis Institute in Los Angeles, California. Lilly is also interested in natural health issues since a long time, not only in what we eat, but how we detox our body. She studied and read about the detoxification and taught these studies, and she became a spa therapist. Lilly helped many people with psychological, emotional problem along her journey. So, well, you know, Lilly, I could continue on and on because you have so much. First of all, I would like to say welcome and thank you so much for being here with us today, sharing your knowledge. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Right. Okay, so we will jump in our questions.
Yes.
Lilly, Dr. Lilly, your profile showed that you were navigating through many different sectors, okay? You started from gemstone, jewellery designer, to crystal healing, to spa therapist, to hypnosis, energy healing, and as I know you, you have a great knowledge in essential oil and herbs. You went from Thailand to California, and to many places in Asia. You crossed the world. I would like you to summarize in your own word your journey, because your journey is the basic of who you are. Please tell us about your journey first.
Yeah, well, it seemed long, but actually it's not a long journey. The first thing that is always because of the parents. My father, I was born in Thailand, and Thailand is, you know, the woman, you don't do anything, the boy go out and play. But my father is different way. He said, you do what you want, you be what you want, and anything you want it to be, you can be it. So for that reason, I heard this sound all the times. So I start to, you know, learn. I just keep learning, and I find that it was make a big difference for the knowledge that you start when you're very young with the big support of the parents. So for that reason, I become free. So I don't have to think so much about what I'm going to be when I'm growing up, because I have so many fruit in my basket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we just, as gemologist itself, is already open up the world for inside. I don't look at the stone as how beautiful they are, but it just inside is even like, if you have chance to see from the microscope, you will see that is another most beautiful. It's just like you look up at the sky that you see all kind of the star, but as the same, yeah. And it's also, you feel why when you get angry, why you want to hold the stone, and when you get sad, why you want to hold the stone, when you really missing someone, why you have to touch this stone, you know, it's all about the vibration.
But
So that's what
not your first approach. It was not your first approach. When you started to work with crystal, you were working as a scientific gemologist.
Yes,
When
yes.
did it happen? Tell me about when it switched from pure gemology to this aspect of the stones and crystals.
Actually, it was the most of the time it go along all the way together. Because when I was very young, you know, the ruby for me it's just a rock. It's not a big things, because he will come home with a whole by kilo. This is the raw crystal. So the rest that the color is off a little bit, you just let the guy, you know, okay, tell the gardener put in the soil or put it in the fish tank. And I was always enjoyed to see the very red color in the fish tank. And we have five or six of the fish tank, and a few of them that is have very little or some have none. So I can see that the one that with a lot of ruby, that fish is getting big and they look happy and they swim all the time. The one that doesn't have any ruby is many times they would die, you know, like sink on the bottom. And that what I just remember. And so anytime you want them to be, you know, have more active, I see that a lot of ruby in there. So I asked my father, hey, try to put more ruby into that one. I don't think it's just a ruby. I think it's any crystal, crystallite like quartz or anything, it would be the same. Yeah, what by doing to become a gemologist, I find there was, it's a lot of things out there that people misuse. You know, like you have to, everybody want diamond all the time, but other stone is more precious, more than diamond. I never have diamond in my life.
Yeah, but so it started with the ruby, and
yeah,
it's that
ruby.
You jumped to other type of crystals, and then I guess that you deepen your understanding of the healing power. Tell me about that journey. How did it come to you? Because it started, it's interesting about the fish tank example is interesting, but how did you continue that journey?
Well, because when later on in life, I think about 25 years ago, I start to make my own jewelry. I start to, you know, send to be a contest in a jewelry show, in a international jewelry show in Thailand, in Japan, in Hong Kong. And we start to win different, like a new artist. So I enjoyed it. And the more I start to work with them, I start to feel something different for myself, that the collection like this today is a lot of things is blue and turquoise. And I realized that because that day I have a migraine. And anytime that when I have migraine and headache, a very heavy head, I will reach out for the, you know, the lapis lazuli color or aquamarine color or turquoise color. So, and if when you really so tired again, I said, I don't know why I start to work with ruby. It just for my notice way. And especially I always often have the migraine when I was very young. So with sapphire, with lapis lazuli, all these things, when you start to work with it, it's in your environment and my hand touching them all the time because I'm making jewelry. Yeah. And I find I forgot to take the medicine. The pain is start to subside. It's not all 100%, but it's comfortable enough for me to move on the whole day without, you know, have to like that. Oh,
so you were your first doctor in a way. So not your first doctor, sorry, your first patient, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So
Yeah.
you discovered by experiencing that, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Is that
Yeah.
what
And
your testimonial in your book? Because you wrote a book about crystal. Are you telling
yes.
about that story in that book? In your
I'm not sure that I tell about this story, but this is what how it really happened for this beginning. Yes, and I don't really particularly said if it's the blue stone, because it's not every stone that I touch with, but this is what I hold in my hand and make a difference, or just the color. Even that color of stone can be soda light, but when I touch, I just feel the difference. And I'm not sure other people feel the difference too. So when we do the gem show, I most of the time set up the stone by color coordinate as the color of the chakra. Yeah. And people will walk and I start to see them, because it's very interesting to how people approach the stone. The guy just come in and touch the green stone and hold it and feel very peaceful. And he said, why did I like this? I said, you probably maybe have a little bit, you maybe have issue of your heart. And he would just put it down and he said, are you a witch? I said, no. It will come because of that green stone have a lot of chromium. And the people who have the heart problem tend to lacking chromium, so that's why your body, your subconscious, actually, they are the most intelligent things. If we listen to insights, we will use the right decision. So that's what it is. And
so there is a reason why people are attracted.
Yes,
to
yes.
crystals.
Yes, yes. And someone that lost their loved one, they just come in and grab rose quartz or get the kunzai. One very interesting thing that the person who often pick up the kunzai is the person who anger and being kept inside so much, like cannot forgive their parents, their loved one, their sibling that do something very horrible in their life, and they're always touching kunzai, not rose quartz.
This is different, huh? Kunzite is completely different. So
yes.
That's interesting because you also know the chemistry of each of these crystals, so you could compare. So I guess that you built yourself a own vocabulary or a own understanding of the stone, isn't it?
Yes, yes. It's easier that way. I like to have more at the reason why I cannot just think about and listen to people. I need to see the facts. So, that's why, and the system, symmetrical of the crystal, is usually always matching for what a human being is missing.
So when being attracted, there is some chemical / emotional properties that attracts you through that crystal. Did you have the chance? I'm sure that you will answer yes to that question, so I will reformulate that. How did you use the crystal in a healing context with some patient? And could you, at that moment, double verify your hypothesis?
Yes, but most of the time, if I always start with the black tourmaline. It's just the tourmaline now. The Japanese is a lot of different countries use them as a negative charge iron. So that's why they do the powder. They put it on the face and we stimulate the stem cells on the face. So all of these tourmaline is, if you put it in the water, it's just like small electric in the water. That's why they travel well. Tourmaline is always my first one. If I need to do, I have to ground people and make them balance negative charge and positive charge well. So the people who have...
It absorbs negative energy, doesn't it?
Yeah. It absorbs positive charge. Because the tourmaline is negative charge. Yeah, and the people who have, some people, when you touch someone, they just feel sparkling, like a shock. So these people usually, inside of them is not very good, healthy. So they maybe not digest well, they don't eat good food, they have a lot of fat content, and they have gas. So when you touch this person, they're usually not comfortable because they have so much a positive charge in their body. So by having the tourmaline around or put it on the body somehow, it helps to, you know, that positive charge, it start to be subsides.
It's like an ionizer, air ionizer in a certain way.
Yes.
So then
Yes.
the negative energies and the toxin can deposit and being eliminated.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Right.
It
So
just
you start with the tourmaline. And what do you like to use after that? How do you discover the others? Like, I don't know, lapis lazuli, and you are telling, are you doing some crystal layout around the patients? Are you doing this?
Yes, sometimes, but I'm not use a lot of the layout because I usually ground them, and with the crystal, I always use black tourmaline first because it's cheapest one. You can use other tourmaline if you have it. The quality is not important. We need it as long as raw as possible. So when you put it on and just the layout or under the bed, you can do that. You can use quartz. Again, you can use smoky quartz. All the quartz is very good for charging, you know. But before we go to the quartz, I will ground people. And if they don't have tourmaline, you can use any black stone. Any black stone it will do.
Obsidian or any jasper. All these.
Yeah, jasper. I will prefer more of the garnet and black jasper or more on quartz. Anything is black. I find that the obsidian, it doesn't ground well because the original is a natural grass. It's a grass. If you see they break, they have concrete, you know, it's just like when you break the glass. So I never consider grass can be grounding. Yeah.
Are you much into programming crystals? Are you using the capacity, for example, of the quartz to be programmed, and how are you doing that?
Actually, you can program the quartz, but you just hold them and just program that. Okay, this is to charging the person. But you do only one program. Some people just put so many things. It's almost like a wishing ball. You know, they're not that. The program is just attune the direction of what you're gonna do. They can do everything. You know, it just stimulates a vibration of them that can do for some certain level, and you cannot expect them to cure everything. That's not to. It's just to balance out. Yeah.
Yeah. So in a certain way, what you're telling me is that we can, in a certain way, communicate with the crystals. Like the crystals, aren't the crystal communicating with the people as they attract the one that are needing more rose quartz as opposed to this and that and the other? Aren't the crystals speaking to us in a certain level of vibration? And how does it happen?
I think it's more on the vibration, and because of the color, also sending touch of different of our own inner self, like that. You know, when you see pink, you see rose quartz, you feel love. But when you start to see something like lilac color, which is kunzite, so the kunzite is a stone. The pink lilac, pink is come from lithium. And you see like anything that have these soft certain lilac stone is usually have lithium. So for that one is always for forgiveness.
Yeah.
Pardon, you know, and gratitude. That stone is always, because of the stone itself, have that chemical composition.
So it is also because of its chemical composition plus the color,
yes.
But the chemical composition leads to this specific vibration to be expressed. So there is not only energy properties, the energy properties connect directly on the, I guess, the organization of the molecules inside the crystal, isn't it?
Yes, it's, you know, it's when it's looking as a color, it's become color therapies. If we use the crystal as a color therapist, but they go deeper. If you use the light, it have another kind of vibration. So crystal have their own vibration that no one can match them. because it takes longer, very long to grow a crystal. It's in the earth. So that's why the crystal, the vibration of crystal is very subtle. And then you said you don't know, you don't feel, but why when some people was having a hard time or they have to think if you have something, they always hold a crystal, you know, and if the guy have the rings, when he have, you know, the seal, they, oh, why did they sit down and touch the you know, the ring like this? It's have the reason, but we do without we recognize it.
We do instinctively. It's like an instinct. So speaking of
Yes.
therapy, you spoke about that. That was my next topic, because I know that you are very much into that as well. And what is the fundamental element of color therapy? Why could we do the statement that colors are healing us? I think that color therapy is very, very old also. It was used in the past, in the history. The Babylonians were using color therapy, isn't it? Egyptians also, I think, were using colors. But why? Why color has some properties?
Oh, they have a lot because it's active on the brain. It's on our brain that needs so much color. The brain is active by the color. If you put people in the dark room for 5 days and you put people with the dark room but have a lot of light in 5 days, that two people behavior is completely different. The one with a lot of light, which is they don't even see the light, you know, but they feel it because the organs, the body is the biggest organ, so still feel that light in their own life. So they don't feel depression. The people who, like now quarantine, you see the difference. The one that have only one small window in the apartment, like I told you, I don't feel quarantine because I live on the mountain and my whole house is tons of windows. So I have light all the time. The light is also have different color on the spectrum. Like in North America, yeah, all of them. But in specific color is really playing the big role of our human being, special like that, in orange color. So the orange color when people have depression and people really feel very lonely, you know, and have self-disciplined and doesn't have any creation, like, you know, we put orange in their life. It's just even the blanket, the picture of orange and the cushion or anything that orange, or even the something that they can hold on, they start to change. This is very important in the North America because they have so much gray, you know, since like October until maybe in May or something like that. So that's why we have foreseen by having the orange, bright orange, gold color, yellow color in fall. The brain is absorbing. Our eye can see this color and keep it inside and stimulate when it needs to be released. You see, the brain is such a smart thing, you know, that's why we need brain. So we have to use them.
So certain colors are stimulating certain part of the brain. And
yes.
Does it influence the endocrine system? How does it go to, I would say, to the level of the organs? Because I know that also color therapy can be used, for example, the liver, for the kidney, for the stomach, etc.
Yes.
Some colors have bigger impact on some organ. Can you talk about that a little?
Yes, if you use the color, because color therapy and light therapy is not exactly the same, because color therapy is by seeing, by touching. So if you really, it's the best thing that if you really want to, by wrapping them up, but by wrapping them up, you should be on contact with your skin. Like if people have many clothes on already and covered with that, it probably works so little or not at all. But the emotional will be effect, because we have all the electromagnetic fields all around it. But to really work well, it should be touch your skin or seeing with your eyes for the color.
So when the clothes touch the skin
yes.
is giving the color. Is that because light is passing through?
Yeah, it's just a vibration. The color itself also of the material is a vibration. Yeah, and like you see the people who wear black, they usually will be very massive, very more center, listening and quiet and accept.
As opposed to white, what does white represent? White color?
White is actually is have every color. You know, they have every color and then they don't, but the color reflected out. So they're not absorbing, they're just neutral. It's really neutral. You can branch out so many color when you have white, but it's not good to have white all the times.
No.
It's all bringing different color. Like if you often wear white, okay, today you can try some turquoise on your life to see what is different. And you can get some orange and you said white and red. When you put red on, you said, my God, I feel really active. And sometimes it's more aggressive. So the color, it will be adjusting how you perform in your daily life too.
Yes, I observed that in some religious rituals, like in Buddhism, and the Muslims are having sometimes white clothes. The Muslims men are sometimes wearing a completely white clothes, and the Buddhist men and women also often wearing white color. How could you connect the spiritual aspect and the color? Is there something that you can link?
Yes, usually why is, you know, like is you doesn't need anything to be within you. It's just pure. You don't need the other color. You don't need red to make powerful. You don't need blue to be able to speak out, because you're there to be quiet, silent, and listen and learning within yourself. So that's why the people who pray to do something very ceremony of your life, they usually wear white. And you'll be surprised that if you wear the same white dress when you pray, and when you're sick, you get that same dress that you usually pray, your sickness becomes subsides very fast, because that vibration of the energy when you pray is stay on your clothes.
It is stored.
Yes.
There is a memory.
Yes, it's a vibration. You know, it's a vibration. If let's say the baby.
Yes.
The baby, when the mother wrap it, and then if the mother disappear, you know, go out and other people take care, the same clothes that wrap the baby, the mother with the baby, and if there the baby won't disturb so much. But if you remove that blanket and get the new, fresh, beautiful smell, cover the baby probably cry for a long time before mom come back.
Because it doesn't contain the vibration of the...
It doesn't contain the vibration. Yes, it doesn't contain. Yeah.
So
and the white is the color that get the most.
And there is information that is stored into this vibration also. It's not just a vibration. We can impact, isn't it? We can impact on the vibration that there is in the white color and any colors like pink color, etc. We can put specific information, can we?
I cannot really say that we can put specific vibration, but it's just the color itself that was transformed the vibration to be their own vibration. You know, I mean, when you're very angry so much and you put pink on, you probably are the people who are very elegant, you know, like men. And when you put pink on, you will see that men is transformed to be a soft gentleman. You see, I mean, they transform from us the color and the vibration of that color.
Yeah. So the vibration itself change the mood, change the emotion. The color can also impact positively onto the organs, not only on the emotions. Is there a counterindication, for example, for color and certain illness? For example, cancer. Is there a counterindication in colors that you would recommend? Not to wear.
Well, not to wear any color you can wear except green, because green is being continued living cell. Yeah, so we tell the person that if you have cancer or tumor, even you had it in the past, we recommend them that not to put on the skin, not to be touching on the skin. You can have it as a curtain, but not on the bed sheet, not on the towel. So we avoid everything, even on the emerald or green stone on the person who have cancer or tumor.
Why? Because it regenerates the cells. It's like accelerate the regeneration of the cell. Is that why?
Yes, because it's been life. Is stimulate and energize, but because they're not energized just because they energize everything, they don't pick and choose that, oh, this is cancer or this is tumor, I should not work on it. Their work is at the whole body. They was working with one unit as green color.
I understand. All right, let's jump completely to a different modality now. Color therapy is an amazing world, but there is another completely amazing world, energy healing and quantum touch. You are a certified quantum touch instructor and a practitioner also, right? So what is quantum touch? How did you started your journey with quantum touch and how are you using it?
The quantum, because I have a lot of pain on my shoulder and supposed to be operated, and the right side already operated, and it takes forever to get better. I spent so much time for the whole year to go to the hospital, to work out, to do the treatment. Then the left one start. I work a lot for the physical. It's like, because I do a lot of display and design. So when I went to Thailand, it's one of the master, he's a teacher too. He treated me without touching me, and I closed my eye. It hurt the same thing as the operation, but two weeks later, the pain is gone, like gone, zero. I supposed to operate, so I said, my God, I mean, if this thing can be real, so it's very interesting. For that moment,
he did you a treatment, a remote healing treatment, and 2 weeks after,
yes.
you no pain, no surgery. Is that right?
Yes.
What were you having?
I won't believe it.
You didn't believe it, but you, in fact, didn't have any pain. So that's the first contact that you had.
Yes, but I tell you, I'm sure that he working inside of my body, because the pain it's the same worse as the operation, and I can't even move because the pain is that much. So, and when I said, can I open my eye now? When I opened my eyes, he was there, like far. He didn't, not close to me. He do distant healing, but he was in the same room.
Yeah. And then after you started to train yourself, you decided to start to learn.
Yeah, I started to learn. He showed me a few things as a beginner, because I did not live in Thailand. So for the first 2 weeks that he showed me how to do, then I start to look for, what's going on, what else that I can do. Very interesting for me. I cannot get the answer yet, so I have to look for answer. Then I start to do the Reiki, learn the Reiki, Tibet way, and also the Japanese way. They both work different way, but it really doesn't give me an answer for healing the pain. It makes you feel better. And then maybe another few days, you will go back to be the, stress again or something like that again. So I start to learn some other thing called quantum touch. And after quantum touch, I find something start to get there. It's by breathing correct way. Oh. And actually, if we start to breathing well, in the mouth and go to the stomach and make sure that you just all the way and then releasing all out, the pain is start to subside by itself without doing any healing.
So it is connected, the healing, the healer, the power of the healer is because of the breathing. So does it mean that in quantum touch, as opposed to the Reiki modality, the reason why it is more sustainable is because the healer is
Because,
to breathe properly, is it?
yes, 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 how to breathe. And even when, for me, I start to change different things. So because, if the patient, the person who have pain is self trained to breathing and synchronize with the person, the helper. If the pain, it will be subside much faster. It's like 3 times, not double.
Mm. So you mean when the patient is also becoming aware of his own breathing, is also self-healing a lot, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
So are you training your patient to become their self-healer at the same time?
Yes, I prefer that way, because we cannot be there for everybody. The more you train them, I know some people will say, well, then how are you going to make the money and make a living with it? But I think you make well living when you start to train people well, because the gratitude is back to you is so big. And some people very far, and unfortunately, they won't have money to come to see you every time that they get pain or have some problem. But by training them like 10 minutes, let's say maximum, or even 5 minutes, they have it for the rest of their life. And they also can bring that knowledge to go back to their house, their family, and to train. It's like expand more. It's knowing just by breathing well. We have to do them anyway.
Is it like the same vibration? Because speaking of that, you were talking previously, the vibration of the stone, the vibration of the color. So we are talking about vibration all the time here. So is that the vibration are you telling that emotions or gratitude or whatever it is that they have towards you reach you and elevate yourself? Are you healed by your patient? You should pay them if so.
Well, it's not really. It's just because, by breathing well, because I see that they're doing well. It's because of you spend extra time, 5 or 10 minutes, or even 15 minutes, and you see that they really take for what they've been trained and use it in their family. And their family is, if you have 10 people, it start to show you that, hey, we can do this. Now we don't have any more headache. My mom start to eat again, For what you see, that so little thing that you just offer them, I think is become reward of your good living life.
Yeah, of course. So you're not only using the crystals and energy, you are using a lot plants, herbs, oil, plant extract,
Yes.
etc. Like a sorcerer.
But you know,
approach. Explain me this part of your approach of healing also.
yes, because we used to have the naturopath clinic, and it's closed now because of I don't have time to take care of it. So we have a lot of people coming and to bring up the problem, and I have to work on the files. What did they do? And people often doesn't cooperate because the question that I asked them so deep. I always say, when it happened, how long time ago, how long, and what is their diet, where do they live, and how many glasses of water that they drink, and how many times that they go to the toilet, what size, what shape, and all of these nobody want to answer.
Mm.
So that's why, and when
why is that important in your approach and working with plants? Why this is important? Why?
Because plant is something that easy that they can find it. And I said, well, if they have problem with their body stink, so it's been they have a lot of the acid in their body. So why not change it to be a little bit more alkaline, and how to do. And when people say, well, I have so much constipation, I have to take medicine. I said, you don't have to take medicine. You just have to take mineral, which is magnesium. You just take magnesium with your meal twice a day. It's guaranteed you go to the toilet. And it's reduced the high blood pressure. and you make your brain function better, plus your heart. As you see, this is mineral. It's not medicine because you were born with magnesium.
Mm.
So, and this is all about the mineral and the plant. And if someone that was willing to work more, I said, well, just go get the vinegar that have the mother and unfilter. 1 glass, like 1 tablespoon with half a glass of water, just first thing in the morning before you brush your teeth.
Oh.
Because when you brush your teeth, you start to have acid in your mouth already. So just first thing in the morning, the body starts to change. Give yourself 10 days. I can see the difference.
Yes, certainly. So what, I mean, you are working as a complementary therapist, right? And
Yeah.
sometimes people confuses us as doctor. We are not doctor, isn't it? So how do you deal with this fact? How do you explain to the people that they should not stop their approach, their medical approach, because sometimes people still need it, right? We are not completely curing everything. So can you talk about the complementary approach of your work with classic Western medicine?
Well, because for me, if the person, let's say that they have, I always go back with the headache and high blood pressure, migraine, and it's the headache and the pain in of the whole joint body. They still do whenever they have to do. Is the pain is never disappear. And I said, why don't you add magnesium in your system? And I don't sell it. They just have to go to the store, the health food store or the pharmacy, because this is mineral. So you can buy off the counter and then just take it with the meals. And I tell them how to do. One in the morning and one afternoon, and we don't take in the evening. We take another one right before bedtime to bring down the blood pressure.
Mm.
This thing, it doesn't interfere with anything. Just tried it for a week and it's always worked. The mineral that we have in our body, and then we don't work them anymore because everything changed, the system changed. So we don't develop that much magnesium anymore, and our diet also lack of magnesium. So that's why we cannot tell them not to take this, not to take that. It's against the law and regulation. We try to find them to get them as a food to intake to become something that won't be long. It's gonna replace their medicine. They will be the one who said, I start to get better, maybe I'm going to ask my doctor. I said, ask your doctor to reduce the dose. You can't just stop by yourself. You have to tell them, check the blood. They say, okay, now my cholesterol is coming down so much. Instead of they have to take Lipitor or this thing all the time, maybe it will be changed.
So you can reduce the dose and progressively become normal and healthy.
Yeah.
Not needing to take it, but it's
yes.
The doctor's job, not your job, no?
No, we cannot do our job. And if some people that never see because they said, well, they want to do that, they really don't know how, and that's a very easy job for us because we can change right away, and that result it make faster to progress of the better living.
Yeah, so this is the goal of complementary therapy is to accelerate and speed up the healing, right? All right, Lilly, last question, but not the least. You are working on developing a completely new modality of your own, and you're working on that since many, many years. Can you talk about that? What are you creating right now? Explain me.
I creating something called quantum immune. This quantum immune is for building up your immune system. If your immune were very weak, then it will take a while, maybe 1 month and so, but it always bring up the level of the immune system. We work on specific organs. It's all the representing, like if you talk about tonsil, when you have tonsil infection, the doctor first remove it. But that tonsil is the first door of antibacterial of your body. So that's why we work on tonsil, we work on appendix, we work on thymus, we work on prior patch, which is the lower part of your intestine. That area is also reproduce something for antibacterial in the body system. So whenever we do, is all target only specific organs or the gland, even the bone marrow. So to become more healthier, more charged, more electrified for all the immune system. It won't change right away, but it takes time. Up to 2 weeks, you see the result.
You are using energy for that, no?
Yes, this is energy.
How do you do that? Can you just introduce it a little bit? How do you do that?
Yeah, it's just the same thing. We have to breathe in 4-4. The 4-4 is mean when you breathe in, you count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You have to follow the clock because some person counts so fast, then it doesn't have it. It means when you breathe in, you bring all the air go into your stomach, and when you exhale, your stomach have to be start to deplete and all out in 4. So when you start to feel the heat coming out to your body about 2-3 breaths, then you start to focus first on your tonsil. So by doing the tonsil, we just stimulate the tonsil by, you can do it spiral, but with the quantum immune, we use electron. The electron that if you have to visualize, you know, the electron was moving around the proton and neutron in the both area, separating. So we do that kind of stimulation. All the organ, we do the same thing, but have to make sure you maintain your breathing 4-4. And you focus on
color? Are you using the color as well? Are you using the color?
Yeah, we use, after we stimulate, and we also start to put in the color also, because different color is representing different part of the organ. And some organ already have their own color.
And by using it, you are stimulating the self-healing of the organ, right? Because the organ,
yes,
in fact, energy does not heal, isn't it?
Yes.
What does energy do? It stimulates the healing to go alone, isn't it?
Yes. I cannot hear well. Can you say it again?
I was telling that energy, in fact, is stimulating the self-healing of the patient. Energy itself is not healing.
Yes, energy itself, it actually stimulates the gland. And when the gland is start to work again, it start to give back the antibacterial, anti-immune system for that person. You know, like for the people who have sore throat all the times. So that what it bring it back, that what they have less and less. And again, appendix, the kidney, the spleen, all of these, the thymus, the prayer patch, all these organ specific actually is for making your immune system stronger. You can live better and more healthier by making yourself strong. It's very hard to try to protect from outside, but if you're strong, you live well.
You live well and more protected. Well, Lilly, I hope that you are going to write a book about that people can access your knowledge and wisdom, isn't it? Are you projecting to do so?
I am, but it's a little bit of time because I do so many things. I do cream, I do product for baby and everything. So to sit down writing, I teach now. To teaching is different than writing the book.
Very much, very much. All right, we're running out of time, so we're going to conclude our very fantastic interview. Lilly, thank you so much for your inspiration, for your wisdom. I think you are unique. Nobody is like you. You are having a very, very unique approach. Thank you for your service to the world. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. I hope to see you soon. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Have a great life. Bye.